episode of Comics and Sweet Tea. So glad to be back with you guys. Um, First things first, hey, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Uh, we do all kinds of things here, guys. We talk about comic book movies, comic book news. Um, we do interviews with other creators, just a little bit of everything. Um, be sure to leave a like and a comment. Always fighting that algorithm, and we need all the help we can get. So leave those to help, elevate the video to make it more visible to other viewers. So any help you can give us with that would be greatly appreciated. You seen the title of the video? Thought about this for a while. I've had several people ask me, you know, to to do a review of their book. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, here's where I am with that. Um, Personally, I think the only thing that you could review if you've been through the schooling, you were taught how to be an artist, grammar, you were taught, you got a degree in English. That's the only thing you can judge these things off of. Art is purely subjective. What I might like, somebody else might hate. Um, what I hate, somebody else might like. I don't feel comfortable because I mean, all I could do, if I were classically trained as an artist or writer, is judge on on that basis because it's your story and your story. I've said this many times. Your thing, make your thing, and your audience will find you. You just got to get the work out there, and I believe in that 100%. Um, I've had it happen with my own work. People said there's a lot of people might not like my work, and that's okay. I want the people that do though be I want to hear what they've got to say. I want to know that my work has moved somebody in some way. That that's hard to put into words, but and I feel very passionate about what I do. It's something I've always wanted to do. Um, Getting back to being classically trained, personally, you know, yeah, you can teach art. Yeah, you can learn art, but there has to be some sort of ability there, and that's just my thoughts. That's my humble opinion. I think you have to have talent. I mean, that's where I am on that. I don't believe in AI art. I'm completely against that because your mood, your art, whether it be writing or whether it be uh, drawing, whether it be both, that's an extension of who you are, and that comes through in the work. Um, and going off of that, you know, your moods can be reflected in your work. That's why I never try to draw upset. Um, it never works out. I don't try to force it. Um, every time I do, I wind up I wind up going back to it, redoing things, totally scrapping it sometimes because it's it's putting out the wrong thing. You know, it never turns out like I want it to. Um, but yeah, going a little further though, your art is an extension of you. Um, I wouldn't going back to the I wouldn't feel comfortable. You can only judge the form and the technique. If you've had proper training, whether you've went to school for art or went to school for grammar. I mean, that's all. Personally, I think you would be able to judge. You can't judge somebody else's story, somebody else's artwork, um, because what you know, it's not a true overall definition of work. Because okay, you might hate it in your review, and then somebody else comes along and it just completely moves them in an amazing way. That's what's so cool about art. All forms of art, whether it be music, drawing, painting, writing. It's a part of who we are as human beings. It's an extension of ourselves. It's meant to relay and emit an emotion from you because and that's why I don't agree with AI art. It's soulless. There's no substance there. It's just, yeah, it's got the form, but there's no soul. And I know that's a whole deeper conversation, but that's just my humble opinion on it. And that's why I don't agree with AI art. And not only is it taking jobs away from human beings, but it's taking the heart and soul from artists. It's taking that away, you know. Um, and that's a whole nother ball of wax. If you take people's way of expression, if you take that away from them, what do you get? You get a big mess. People have to be able to express themselves. Um, that's a scary thought if people aren't able to do that in some form or fashion. Um, so yeah, I don't do reviews. I'm not properly or classically trained. I'm self-taught, and I don't mean you just need to go out there and start throwing shit on a piece of paper. I'm, yeah, I haven't been to school, but yes, I have studied. I've studied anatomy, and I've studied all kinds of books, and I encourage that. You need to get out there and put the work in. You need to learn proper perspective. You need to learn proper anatomy. Now, do you have to draw that way? No, but you need that is your foundation to build your style off of. All know style is the mistakes each individual makes. This kind of breaks away from those forms, and but you need that foundation to be able to build your style off of. You need to be properly. You need to do the work and properly train yourself to be able to do the work and make things recognizable. Unless you're doing abstract art, and then that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear those. Please drop those in the comments. Let me know what you think. I mean, me personally, I do. I draw what I want to draw. I tell a story that I want to tell. And if people like it, fine. If people don't like it, fine. I mean, I would rather people did. But I mean, everybody's not going to like everything that you do, but you have to do it for yourself. At the end of the day, you have to be true to yourself. Do the work that you want to do. Don't cater to Don't cater to styles that are popular, stories that are popular. Um, you have to do what you feel is right in your heart and what you feel that you need to express. Because, like I said out there, your art is an expression of you. It's an extension of you, and that can't be stressed enough. And I think that's one thing that this world is lacking. You and that could be where some of the frustrations are coming from people because they're not able to properly express themselves. And I'm not talking about through a bad way. I'm talking about through a productive way, through art, through painting, through music, through whatever. That's what I mean by that. And so, yeah, that's if you want to to be on the show and talk about your project, that hey, you're welcome on here because nobody's going to be as passionate about what you do as you. That's why I like to bring the creators on and let them talk about their work because I don't feel comfortable judging other people's stuff. I just really don't because I'm not properly trained. And even if I am, all I could do is talk about the form and the technique. I can't talk. I don't think that gives you the right to downgrade their work. It's what you're saying is subjective to your thoughts, going off of your personal training. So I don't think you have the right to criticize their work either. So, um, because and I know I'm rambling, but I wanted you guys to know I've been asked this question but that's why I like to bring the creator on and let them talk about their own project to go into that and discuss their story and because that ignites my creative fire too, feeding off of that passion, you know, because we all go through lulls. We all go through times where we don't feel near as creative and we just get in a funk. And it's nice to see somebody come along and just totally, they're on fire about their work and they're going in depth on it. Hey, I'm creating this and it's gonna be on this world and all these fantastic things are happening and it, that's what it, that helps relight the fire in creators. When you see another creator that's, totally on fire about their work. That's why, honestly, I think it's extremely important to surround yourself with good, positive people, but honest people. You don't want people that are just going to go along with whatever you're doing. You want people that are going to be honest with you and say, "Hey, man, I got to be honest with you. That sucks. I mean, that doesn't look right." You need those people around you too. You don't need people around you that just, hey, oh yeah, bro, great stuff. Everything's wonderful. You need people that are going to be honest, that are going to pick you up when you fall down. I've got some amazing people that I trust that I go to talk about my work. That I show work to before I ever release it. That I completely trust and they're masters of this craft. And their opinion is invaluable to me. Oh, but yeah, you need those kinds of people in your life, and to be honest with you, and say, hey, you kind of slop through this. This is not your best stuff. or to encourage you, and they see something new you're doing and say, hey, man, I like what you're doing here. Lean into it more. Um, that you need those folks to push you, to expand yourself, to grow as an artist. And I know I'm rambling, but I knew that's what this episode was going to be. Um, and hey, I love to come on here and talk about these kinds of things because we all go through it. I know I go through it, so I know everybody else does too. You doubt yourself at times, but even when you get in your worst places, that's why you need those good people around you. That's why you need a good inner circle, and so you don't feel like you're on an island because you're not on an island. You don't work in a vacuum. You know, your work touches people, and don't don't ever be afraid to reach out to those people that you trust when you're going through something because I guarantee you they've been there too. They know what it's like, and it helps both of you because it's a symbiotic relationship. You thrive off of each other. You grow off of each other. You When one's down, the other's up, and that one can pick the other one up, and vice versa. That kind of stuff is critical, as an artist because we do go through hard times. We get in these bad places because we live in our own heads a lot, and you can get lost in there sometimes. And it's nice to have somebody to pull you out of that, kind of snatch you out and bring you back to reality, especially when you're doing the darker stuff, because you kind of immerse yourself in the darkness, and you need to come out and get some light every once in a while. Um, but yeah, I mean, as far as on a totally different subject, but kind of in in tone with it, I get inspiration from all sorts of weirdest of things sometimes. I could be with my grandbaby watching a cartoon and say, "Hey, that's kind of cool. I like that," and just get inspired immediately for a character. It's crazy how that works. Um, you can be watching something, you could be outside, and it just hits you. It's it's weird how inspiration works. It's it's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. It, there's no explanation for that. I mean, you can try to, but I think that's something on a whole nother level. Um, but yeah, I hope I didn't bore you to death with this. So yeah, I won't review your book, but I would love to have you on my show and let you talk about it. Oh, and that's why. Um, be sure, if you want to talk about your book, hey, uh, hit me up. Come on the show, talk about the book. I'd love to go through it with you and give you the opportunity to discuss your amazing project. Hope I didn't ramble too much, you guys. Hey, tell me your thoughts on everything I've went on and on about. Some of your experiences, things that helped you when you were down as a creator. Be sure and drop those in there. Um, hey, give us a like, drop a comment. Remember, help us with that algorithm. Thanks for watching. Um, have a blessed one, you guys. That was another short one, but we all have short attention spans. I think this works best when it's just me rambling. Um, anyway, hey, tell your friends about the show. We're still trying to grow this thing, and we can't do it without each and every one of you. And thank you for all of your support. Um, that's the show, you guys. Until next week, have a blessed one. Hey guys, you want to support the channel? Be sure and drop a like, put those comments down in there. I'd love to talk with you guys. Like to make this a community. Other ways to support the channel, hey, go to my website at jerrycooleyart.com. That's www.jerrycooleyart.com. You can pick up my comics, t-shirts, prints, all kinds of stuff. Be sure and go on there and check that stuff out if you're interested in any of my work. You can also follow me on Instagram at Jerry Cooley 77 and also at Blue Sky to see what I'm up to as far as comics. Hey, love to see you there. Jump on, give me a follow on all those socials. Thanks for watching the show. Till next time, you guys, have a blessed one.